Thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but it means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own knitting project. If you're like me and really enjoy having videos on while you work, sometimes you find that the content you like is very visually engaging and you're several hours in and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your project as you would have liked to. So that's where I come in. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today we are continuing to work on the birthday sock for my brother's fiance, and funny enough, I just found out that they are getting their puzzle very soon, like within this week. At the time of filming, I got an email, I think on Friday or Thursday, it's Sunday evening by the way, and it was from the Etsy store to say, your puzzle has shipped. And originally they said everything was back ordered till about July. And I'm like, okay, this is good news, I guess. So this will take me way longer to finish because I'm only on sock 1 of her socks, and I haven't started my brother's at all because I'm still on the fence of what yarn I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use this, I call it like the carrot yarn. It's orange and it has some brown and green in it, and it just reminds me of vegetables. And I was going to do some like ankle socks for him as well. These are ankle socks, by the way, knit in a 3x1 rib, and below is the pattern that I am using. But I chose to just leave it as an ankle sock instead of like a full calf sock type of thing because they are short sock people, as am I, but I know I can get through a short sock fast, which is why I was hoping to have these done by July when the puzzle would be here. But now that it's coming earlier, these are probably just going to be, instead of birthday socks, Christmas socks. So I guess that saves me a project in the long run, because now I don't have to knit 2 pairs of socks and just 1 pair for each of them. But I was expecting more time, but I'm happy that their puzzle is here or on its way soon, because then I can just get all of the stuff out of my house, which is the accumulation of gifts that they have. There's like, since I had some more time, there's one other thing I wanted to pick up. Well, actually, 2 other things. There's a small business that sells washi tape. That I love washi tape. I love washi tape for decorating packages, and I was going to use that to label the different gifts that they have for them, so they know, like, this is for both of you, this is just for my brother, this is just for his fiance, and the puzzle being like a shared gift. And then some more washi tape that is his fiance's favorite color, which is orange, because that's like a big theme of the box is orange stuff. And the Jet Pen site is a great site. I love buying my stationery and my pens from them. I was going to pick up orange theme like pen set for her, because I'll show you guys, but I got her these notepads from an Etsy shop that are like to-do lists, like daily planner kind of things, because she likes to stay organized and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be a good way to help her. So not only give her the planner, but give her some pens and highlighters so she can actually use it, and like a little roll of washi tape so she can just be extra cute with it. So I think her gifts have way more stuff than my brother's, but he's like a cooking person, so I got him like spices and kitchen stuff, so hopefully he appreciates that. He is the kitchen guy, and she kind of is a kitchen girl, but not as much as my brother, so. But I did get them some dog themed stuff because they are dog owners. They have a girl, Lucy May, super cute. But yes, this one is pretty much you knit your rib across the toe or across the top of the foot, and then you do your knitting on the bottom. And I have a notepad where I've been keeping track of like how many stitches I've picked up and along the sides and everything, so that I can make sure that the second sock looks exactly like this first one, because that is something that I'm worried about. Because the pattern actually says like to pick up, I think, 15 along the side of the foot, but because I am knitting a smaller ankle, I don't think I had as many, so I was about like 6 stitches short of what the pattern said for. So that kind of messed me up a little bit, but I made it up. I was able to fix it. So I just have to make sure to do the same thing on the second sock. So let me know in the comments. I always see it listed as like magic loop. I've seen it sort of done before, like a demo kind of, at least how to set it up. But I honestly haven't been that motivated to try magic loop. But let me know if you do it, if it's your preferred method. I just did a video earlier with some DPNs. That's been the standard for me, DPNs, but this is the first pair of socks I've knit with circulars. And I say it's kind of tricky. I mean, I like that it's going like faster, just kind of scooching things along, but at the same time, because the needles are so small, I think if I had any bit of arthritis in my hands, this would probably be really uncomfortable for me. And it already is a little bit crampy just because of how small the needles are and how much I feel like I have to hold it to just make a little bit of progress here. Because you don't have as much range as you would, I think, with DPNs. At least that's how I feel. But I do like how it's so cute and little like this. I do have a longer needle set too. These are 10-inch, and I think the standard for sock is 9. So I think if I did get circulars again to do socks, I would buy another size smaller. And I have, I think I have 9s in one. I have 9s in something, but for some reason, like the number 2 US size needles, when I was getting them from this particular shop, they didn't carry 2 in a 9-inch, so I just went 1 inch up. I was like, oh, what's 1 inch gonna, what difference is 1 inch? But it actually does make a difference, because I find that because the needles are a little bit longer, it's tugging more than if they were smaller, so then they'd all be kind of like nice and neat and squished together. I do feel like I have to stretch a little bit when I move everything, so it does take a lot more to kind of place things where I need them to be. So that's something. If you were considering buying baby needles like this, I would say make sure they are the 9-inch, because I think it'll make a lot more of a difference. And speaking of buying needles, I have to buy some metal circulars, because I have completely abandoned my cat mat project. If you guys saw me, I worked on that like 2 times now, I think. I just can't. Bamboo needles and Lopi yarn, Lopi yarn are just not my jam. I can't handle it. Too sticky. Too sticky. So I'm like, alright, I'll just get the metal needles, but at the time of this video, it's the very last day of May, and tomorrow, Monday, is the 1st, and I will have my monthly salary where I can disperse the funds accordingly. And one of the things on my to-do to buy for June is circular needles that are in the sizes that I need that are not bamboo. So metal, primarily, because I found that metal is like my favorite. I will knit with laminated wood or varnished wood, and I'll also knit with plastic. But I found out very early on I did not like bamboo needles because I tend to knit tight, and I just don't like how sticky they are. But I have them for like starting a brand new project where I just didn't have the needles on hand and needed something for backup. But I did buy them at first because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with circulars yet, because it was my first pair, or my first full set of circulars. They're all fixed circulars, but I got a set for like, I think like 10, 11 bucks or something like that online, and then immediately I was like, whoa, I do not like this. I love the circular concept, do not like this material combo, so I ditched them shortly after that and started getting metal ones. And I think metal ones with a cord that's very thin is the best for me. One that doesn't have what they call memory, where it will stay in a particular shape. I like that. I have this set of Chow-goos that you'll see later on. I'm actually working on a time-lapse video with them for a project for myself. I know. And they are really nice needles. They're kind of pokey, like, I think they're just a little bit sharper than these. These are zings, and the cord is like metal inside, like a braided wire, and it's covered in plastic. So I find that it's really, really nice. But it's the only one of the Chow-goo I have. It was, I think, a little bit pricier than the zing, which is why I don't have as many, but I think maybe I'll get some more of those just to have a few more in my collection. See? Yeah. But yeah. I'm thinking now, did I finish? Oh yes, I finished, if you follow me on Instagram, I finished the Bold Baby blanket that I had filmed with a few times here. I'm so happy it's done. I threw it in the wash, and it's nice and soft now. There were a couple stray ends that poke through after I washed it, but I just have to snip those. But I have an elephant to buy, a little stuffed elephant to go with the gift, and once the elephant gets here, I'm gonna knit up like a bow for it out of one of the colors from the blanket and go through the blanket and with like some tweezers and pick out the rest of the cat fur that didn't come out in the wash. But it's so nice and soft now that I threw it in the wash, and it's so nice. So I'm really excited. Hopefully in the next couple weeks my partner can drop it off at their friend's house. Not in person, but like leave it on their door or leave it on their doorstep so that they can grab it after a little bit. And actually, they have a garage, and my partner knows the code because they used to go work out with this person. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, yeah. I finished the pattern, so I can knit this part. I'm like, why is there not a purl right here? What's going on? So I think they can just type the code in, leave the gift in the garage so it's protected from the weather, and then after like a day or so, the dad can grab it to give to the baby. So I think that'll be nice. But I think I feel like I'm on not a blanket roll, but like a mission. And it's so funny because I worked on a blanket for a very, very long time before, and I was like, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. But I found some other patterns that really like change things up for me. Specifically the Knitterati pattern that I am working on. I just started that one. I have a playlist, but I currently just have one video in it because I've only done one square or one block of that pattern, and I'm not even that far yet because I reverted my attention to some other projects that had more time sensitivity, mainly just finishing that color block blanket, and we're trying to get some more progress in with another project I have, which you guys are very familiar with, the Jolie Mimi cardigan. And then I was working on this until I found out I don't need to because the puzzle's coming sooner, so I don't really need to add anything more to the gift for my brother and his fiance's birthday, and can instead keep this as a Christmas gift. So I was like, okay, well now I can kind of go back to the Knitterati because it's for me, it's not time sensitive, and it's in blocks, so I won't have to worry about being at a certain point at any given time because each block is its own pattern. So it's kind of like a new project for each part of a bigger project, which I am excited to see it through to the end. And I think we just got block 20 just came in the email this week. Well, if you count Sunday as being the end of the week, it came this week. Otherwise, if you count Sunday as the beginning of the week, and then it was last week that they emailed out the new pattern. So I was like, cool. So I'll just save it and keep going until I'm done with that. But super excited because it's all of the wonderful colors that I love so much. Love those colors. And I'm also still working on making cats for my coworkers, specifically the ones that are furloughed, and then of course like my coworkers that are closer to me, like in my department, so that one day maybe they can bring them to work in their offices. But I do know where they live, so I'm just going to mail them to them right now. But I still have a ways to go with those. Because I thought at first I would do like 4 per person, but now I'm thinking maybe like 2 or 3, just to kind of save some time. But it all kind of depends on how much more extra yarn I have that I can spare. So I want to use like scraps. I don't want to bust out a whole ball of yarn just to knit a little bit out of it if I have enough to use for an entire full project later. So we'll see. But right now they're just little beans, which look so much like cat toys. So I think later I'll make cat toys of the little bean pattern before I start adding legs and things to turn them into cats. So I'm like, I know my cats would love that, especially Kabu. Okay. You know, I think I might bring this project back downstairs to be like my desk project, but it's coming along. Oop, let me knit one more just to hold on to this stitch marker. Doop. All right. So here we have our ankle bit right here, and we have the foot. So you could see we have a ways to go because we just have a little teeny bit, and the foot should be about here before I start doing the toe bit right there. So ways to go, but it makes for soothing knitting, I think. Knitting around and around and around. That's like my favorite part. Just keep going in a circle. I just have to remember to knit and pattern when I am between these rings here. You probably can't see them, but there's two little gold rings that are my stitch markers for the pattern portion. I have my kind of looks like a safety pin stitch marker here to mark the beginning and end of my round. So those are all the ones I have, and then I just keep knitting. So that concludes the video. I know it's been kind of short. I'm kind of, not like I don't like my long ones, but I feel like smaller length videos are, one, better for me because then I don't have to worry about running over my time and having to splice my videos, which does take more time for me editing wise. And then two, I feel like if they don't look too daunting, then people are more likely to watch them through to the end. You know, average time for like watches are not even like 10 minutes. It's crazy. But you know I am not everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody wants to hear somebody's stream of consciousness as they ramble on about almost nothing except for their own life and things going on around them. Some people don't like that, but I actually really enjoy it. So yeah, just a little tidbit from the analytics I've been keeping an eye on. But we'll try some shorter ones just to kind of keep things more manageable. We'll see, for you and for me, but there definitely will be some long ones too, when those struggle bus ones where it's like, wow, things are just not going my way, and it ends up being like an hour-and-a-half long video or more sometimes, but that is how it goes when you're on the Paws and Pearls channel. So with that, thank you so much for sticking around. I truly enjoy your company, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.